P. Diddy Scandal, the most shocking controversy in Hollywood and hip-hop history, Part 2. After "freak off" became a hot keyword on the internet, a series of images and evidence was discovered. The first discovered theories were images of white parties with the participation of a series of Hollywood A-list superstars such as Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lopez, Aaliyah, Paris Hilton, Kim Kardashian, Howard Stern, Kelly Osbourne, Aretha Franklin, Martha Stewart, Tommy Lee, Pamela Anderson, Vera Wang, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Mariah Carey, Nick Cannon, and many others. However, it is unknown what really happened at these parties. It has not yet been determined who is the victim, who is the perpetrator, and who is the accomplice. But what is worth mentioning here is that when the incident came to light, none of these people spoke up. However, it is unknown what really happened at these parties. Please note that until there is an official statement from the investigation agency, everything is still just speculation and hypothesis. Among the artists close to P. Diddy, the most suspected is the Usher, who has been following P. Diddy since the Usher was not yet, who is and was supported a lot by Diddy. After Diddy was arrested, Usher deleted all posts on X and said his account had just been hacked. Everything was worse when analyzing the music videos of Justin Bieber, who is said to be one of Diddy's victims since he was only 15 years old because it was Usher who introduced JB to Diddy. But Usher has also opened up many times about him being sexually abused during a year with P. Diddy since he was just a teenager. This makes the whole picture chaotic, as it seems like for years everyone knew about what's going on, but no one speaks up and some of the victims themselves gradually become accomplices. While the few who have criticized all these years are considered crazy, like Jaguar Wright, Cat Williams, Kanye West, Orlando Brown. Another suspicious character is French Montana. After 50 Cent, one of the people who had openly opposed him for many years, announced that he would cooperate with Netflix to make a movie about this case. French Montana stood up went against 50 Cent when he said that him also a gay rapper who sells his body to Hollywood. And then we see a video of French Montana sitting shirtless on a table in a not-so-conscious state with his body showing signs of being lubrication, and Diddy is singing happy birthday to him in a way that couldn't be more unusual.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
But the most shocking thing in the entertainment world is definitely Meek Mill, the male rapper who is rumored to have had a gay relationship with Diddy. The first, Diddy had a story on Instagram showing him lovingly calling Meek Mill by daddy.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you.
Next, perhaps the most shocking evidence, although it hasn't been verified yet, an old bodyguard who used to work there accidentally heard Meek Mill and Diddy were having sex with each other. This bodyguard couldn't believe his ears afterward. Of course, he knowing that no one would believe what he said, he recorded it. This sound was heard in front of the room door. In addition, he also revealed that all the drinks at the party were laced with drugs. He was very lucky to only use the marijuana he brought with him, so he was not harmed, and all the other artists fainted when the thing between Diddy and Meek Mill happened. Maybe you will wonder, what did he to gain this level of power? The answer lies in his brutal rule, sexual and psychological manipulation of other stars to make them submit to him. Accepting gay or group sex at Diddy's behest is considered an act of accepting to sell oneself to him and his work. It is like a kind of oath to be forever loyal. Opposite, the careers of those people will be supported by him, and they will almost certainly become superstars. Female rapper Jaguar Wright, the person who warned the world about Diddy many years ago but was always considered a crazy person, has mentioned many victims of sexual abuse who were filmed and sold on the dark web for unofficial money to other figures in Hollywood. Among the victims that Jaguar mentioned were Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, etc. Until Diddy was arrested, Jaguar was trusted by the online community. In addition to Diddy, she also denounced Jay-Z and Will Smith as accomplices. Cat Williams, he's also someone who has been against Diddy for many years. He has had many interviews talking about Diddy. He said he was invited to the bad boy bosses' parties, but always refused. That's why he wasn't bound to him and could freely discuss Diddy. Another very important witness was Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, who witnessed these parties taking place. He described them as very chaotic as people have sex everywhere with all kinds of overlapping genders. He also said that Diddy and User actually had a dark past with each other. In recent days, one of the most talked about people related to this scandal is Justin Bieber. Many people believe that JB has many times secretly mentioned Diddy's shady things through his music videos, especially Yummy.
Yeah, you got that yummy, that yummy,
Justin Bieber was handed over to Diddy by Usher when he was only 15 years old, in the video titled 48 Hours of Justin Bieber, and P. Diddy showing that he gave JB a lot of material things and opportunities, but for some reason the audience always noticed that JB's face was not feel comfortable and natural when being with Diddy. Besides, there are also videos of the two of them having fun at parties, in which there are almost no videos showing the Prince of Pop being sober. After Diddy was arrested, many suspicions about JB being a victim were reported. At this time, fans started digging up his old music videos and noticed some unusual things like a kind of distress signal that he intentionally did. In particular, fans paid a lot of attention to the Yummy MV, because during the filming of this MV, Bieber had a lot of psychological problems and constantly cried behind a camera, making his wife Harley very sad. It's hard to support JB mentally. So what does this MV have? Note that everything is just a hypothesis. First, JB entered the party through the kitchen. This is a very strange story for the main character of a music, when instead of entering from the front door, he goes from the back door, shows that he is not the main character of the party, and entering from the kitchen can be a hint that he is a dish of the party rather than an attendee. Image of child musicians next could also represent the abuse and exploitation of young musicians. Then we see many guests both young and old ages surround JB from men to women. Most likely this image represents the chaotic debauchery of Freak Off, where artists old and young come and become part of this party. Meanwhile, the food in the MV always looks very sweet but brings a very unpleasant feeling to the viewer. They are mostly colorful or have a lot of green beans. There is even a plate of green bean jelly with a fish line. Top of these strange dishes that could represent the food at the party being laced with drugs to drug the artists there. In the scene of about 1 minute and 47 seconds, we see each character sitting at the table. There are different ages, different genders, and different sexual orientations, showing the diversity of guests at freak-off parties. But what is worth noting is that each person's expression is also different. The man wearing pink clothes has a quite happy expression and seems to be enjoying it. The black girl next to him has a rather innocent expression. This guy with long hair looks like he's suffering from something, and this woman looks very fastidious and not very fun. This shows that at freak-off parties there are accomplices who are enjoying the party. Innocent people are lured into the party, victims cannot speak up, and the people came as if they were going shopping right. In the next scene, when these two characters eat food, the camera angle was very strange, as if it wanted to emphasize this action. Then everyone started to dance. This scene is also a hint that the food is laced with drugs at the party. At 2 minutes 18 seconds, 2 minutes 21 seconds, and 2 minutes 35 seconds, the eyebrows, chin, and eyes JB respectively were edit look quite virtual. This is also a hint that everyone is starting to get soaked in drugs. Even the sad guy from earlier also starts having fun at the party, showing that the victims were completely controlled, right? After that, everyone started to interact with each other in a romantic way that was not seen before in the MV. They were quite intimate super dance moves, then feeding each other, looking at each other passionately, etc., and especially the image of JB taking off his shirt. All of them could be talking about the orgies after everyone was drugged. The final scene gives the viewer the most hidden feeling but is more difficult to explain, but if you listen carefully with the right earphones, you will hear the microphone howling. This sound also appears in the scene where JB looks at the musician girl wearing red, and one of the reasons why the microphone howls is when you put it in the wrong position, maybe hinting at the fact that young artists and even children are being exploited, abused, and exploited in the American music industry. Besides JB, there are many other artists who have hinted at the dark side this Hollywood phenomenon, the most prominent of which is probably Katy Perry with the MV Bon Appetit. After Diddy incident, many other industry leaders also began to be watched, including Lil Wayne with suspicion of selling himself to Birdman to exchange for his careers. Rappers like Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, Nick Cannon can also fall into the FBI's sights as they were guests who attended Diddy's white parties. It can be said that this event was a turning point with Hollywood, exposing many dark roots of the industry, and will change the entertainment world. Since the Great War between East and West, Diddy has always been a suspect behind the deaths of two legends, Tupac and Biggie Smalls. However, there is too little evidence, if not almost none, to accuse him. After the freak-off scandal, netizens started to dig up signs that he was involved in the death of two rappers. The first, 3 days before Tupac was shot in Las Vegas, he gave an interview to MTV about the beef between East and West. He also had many contemptuous words about Bad Boy. This is considered among the hypothetical reasons that led to the assassination of Tupac to pay for revenue. The second hypothesis is based on the allegations of artists such as Eminem and 50 Cent. In many of Eminem's songs about having Keef D assassinate Tupac, and it was he who planned to take Biggie's life. This theory was mentioned by him in the music Fuel. 50 Cent also publicly talked many times about Diddy taking Tupac's life. The reason these two people's words can be believed is because Dr. Dre is behind the career of Eminem and 50 Cent, and Dr. Dre is a person who was very close and knew a lot about Tupac as well as Biggie outside, and Eminem 50 Cent Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, also said a lot about this, even though he didn't think Diddy killed Tupac, but he said Diddy was very obsessed with Machiavelli. He copied Tupac's style to apply, and Bad Boy artist Diddy even did How to Sleep with almost every famous girl that Tupac had sex with. At the 2020 Grammy Awards, Diddy even used the same words that Tupac said for his speech of black people.
As far as fashion, it's the young niggas. As far as the words, slang, the movies, what's hot, it's the young niggas.
Yeah.
We control that. Not alone, but we like the main nigga.
We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control how they wear their pants, sag their pants. We control everything.
Besides, Gene Deal also said that at the time Biggie was shot, he can't even walk on his own and has to use a wheelchair. Most likely it's because of his weight. So there's no reason for Biggie to have to travel far to record, while Diddy already has a studio at Daddy's house in New York. But it was Diddy who rented a studio in Los Angeles so Biggie could go there to record. Why did Diddy let Bad Boy's superstar go to Death Row's Mecca in such a loophole? Is a very suspicious action. But to be more convincing, Diddy must have at least a reasonable motive to do these things, right? That's what he has, a lot of motive. Must admit that Tupac and Death Row is so strong, their sales far exceed Bad Boy's, and they're getting bigger and bigger in the media, constantly challenging Diddy as well as Bad Boy with a very fierce attitude. That could be a motive that makes Diddy want to let Tupac have to lie down. After Machiavelli passed away, Dr. Dre left Death Row. This record label officially went into decline. That is a very beneficial truth for Diddy. And about the Notorious B.I.G., according to Gene Deal, Biggie never wanted this beef to happen. He never wanted to cause trouble with the Crips or any forces, but just wanted to be a music star. Gene Deal believes that this beef happened because of Diddy, because he once had an interview talking about Diddy knew in advance that Tupac would be shot at Quad Studios, but still let it happen. According to Gene Deal, the bullets aimed at Biggie were actually for Diddy. When the fight between the two sides was too tense, West Coast lost one star. East Coast also need a similar damage for public opinion to cool down, and Biggie will be Diddy's perfect pawn. The above information, in addition to the profile of the freak-off scandal, is all still just a hypothesis. There is so much information like that on the internet that I can't tell it all in one video. So I would like to pause this video here until there is more information. My mind explodes. Thank you for watching the entire video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We will make more videos like this. Thanks.